Class is in session once again. You already know how this goes. Mr. Daikun has a lesson for us. You know, have a little quiz or test over it, and then we move on to the next subject. But the real question is, are you prepared to be a mage? You know, do you have your pencil? Do you have your notebook? You know, you need these things. You gotta be studious, but I know I'm not one to talk because I don't be here every Sunday. You know, classes every Sunday. I just don't be here, but we don't gotta worry about that because he knows I be passing those tests. He knows I got the good grades. You know, I be acing those tests. I don't even need to be here. Like, what we learning today? Zeppelin? Like, if I even said that right, but we don't even gotta worry about that. He knows I'ma ace that test. I don't even gotta be here for it. I mean, cause I be studious. I be taking down the notes. You know, you need that notebook. You know, do you want to be a mage? A successful mage at that. But other than that, let's just get this lesson started. Let's see what Mr. Daikun has for us today.
In our previous lesson, I provided an introduction on mystic eyes,
Yeah, I already know
explaining
about
various
that.
examples of them.
Yeah, those
Given
eyes.
their many uses, it is no
They see
wonder why
like-
mages seek out mystic
You
eyes.
gotta
both
have those
natural
notes. So
and
I can't show you
artificial.
right now because I got
While
a
I
new
mentioned
notebook.
mages are typically
but
born with them, and they
took
transfer
notes on those
hereditarily,
mystic eyes.
I did not speak much of the hidden market through which
No.
mages buy and sell
Seem pretty
mystic
cool
eyes to one
actually.
another.
Yeah, for real though.
Thus, today's lesson is on the infamous mystic
Yeah,
eye collection
I
train
would want
of
some
Rail
mystic
Zeppelin.
eyes too. Yeah, there's
We will
definitely
speak of
more
how it
to
works,
them
as well as about a
than just
particularly
this or
dangerous
that.
incident
Like,
that
yeah, I
occurred
think one of
around
them
it.
could cause death.
In
like,
essence, the Rail Zeppelin is a
yeah.
train that first traveled northern Europe, and on its various stops
Let's
would pick
see.
up mages who had received a formal invitation to board.
So they
Obviously,
need that
such candidates
invitation
are
to
typically
board this
chosen for
train.
having a vested interest in either selling or buying mystic eyes. Given the value of these eyes, however, transactions are handled via auction, forcing mages to compete for their prize. Certainly, this is a wonderful opportunity for mages, but you're likely wondering who would curate this process. Well, initially, the train was managed by a dead apostle named Rose N.
A dead
Some
apostle.
suspected that this may even be the infamous Rita Rose N, a superior yet arrogant vampire known for bathing in blood on a nightly basis. It is believed that her penchant for artistry fueled her desire to curate the train and bask in the splendor of rare mystic eyes. However, the original manager of the train is no longer
looks kinda
present,
unique
giving
like
us no
that.
way of knowing whether they were
Like
Rita
she's
herself or
yeah,
another
like I
of the
said,
Rose N
dead,
clan.
but then not there at the same time. Yeah, like you can see her, but then she's
Narrative
just
on her
dead.
disappearance is also
Just
vague.
that image of
Accounts
her.
state that the mage Toko Aozaki and her familiar Lug Beowulf once boarded the train on a journey through Europe. During this time, Toko battled against the manager, and collateral damage destroyed the train itself. Since then, the former manager has been absent, instead leaving the train's care to the deputy manager, a shadowy emanation left behind in her stead. This representative had the train rebuilt, and continues to curate the event as the only entity capable of extracting a person's mystic eyes. Even so, the deputy manager is not alone in this process. Currently, the train's conductor is a grim individual named Rodin. The one in charge of the auction specifically is a woman named Leandra. At any given moment, Leandra has a handful of mystic eyes implanted into her arm, though you wouldn't know just looking at her sleeves. She
Yeah,
understands the
because
drama
it's
of
covered
mages,
up. What
and typically
eyes in her
refrains from
arms?
interfering in their devious ploys to murder one another. That said, she will get involved if external forces pose a threat to those on board, attempting to protect passengers from anything but themselves. After being rebuilt, the Rail Zeppelin has expanded its route through all of Europe, including Britain. The train itself is made up of 12 cars. The main car, Ricapello, is one of the 3 cars
Got
that
a whole
provide
elephant
locomotion.
on there.
In addition,
Yeah,
there is
with
a car
human
for dining,
hands, too.
a
I see
lobby,
that.
guests, and freight. For self-defense, the main car Ricapello is equipped with a spiritual mystic eye projector, which uses the spiritual nature aggression type lens Rose Eye to tremendously amplify the power of mystic eyes consumed by it. As expected, the rail Zeppelin has been a host to a fair number of auctions, but none quite as troublesome as one involving a mage by the name of Dr. Heartless. Just as the name implies, he no longer possesses a conventional heart, as his had been stolen by fairies. Before Waver Velvet took on the role of Lord Elmalloy II and began teaching at the Clock Tower as head of the Faculty of Modern Magecraft, Dr. Heartless headed the department despite not being a lord at all. Rather than prestige, he earned the position through merit, being well versed in not only modern magecraft, but also zoology, botany, mineralogy, metamorphism, and spiritual evocation. He was a contemporary of Marisbury Animosphere, and the two mages took great interest in the Fuyuki Holy Grail Wars. They split, however, when Marisbury learned that the Grail had been corrupted by Anger Mainyu and could no longer work as a wish-granting device. But Heartless held his interest due to his fascination with summoning servants. While investigating this process, he made use of his highly dangerous Mystic Eyes of Usurpation, which allow him to hijack the Mystic Eyes of others. Essentially, he can see vicariously through their eyes and control them as if they were his own. The most tragic victim of these eyes was a church investigator by the name of Carabo Frampton. He was tasked with looking into a series of London murders that, ironically, he himself played a part in. You see, Carabo possessed mystic eyes of transience, which could both see glimpses of the past and also bring past effects into the present. That last ability proved to be a dangerous murder weapon, in that they could be used to take a past occurrence, such as a slash into thin air, and bring it to the present.
Yeah, you could just do something like that. The result, take something from the past, bring it to the present, and now just completely changes things up. Like him right here.
Corpses. While Carabo's eyes were responsible for the murders, he himself did not willingly commit them. The true culprit was Dr. Heartless, using his own eyes to commandeer Carabo's.
Control him?
To preserve the heads of the deceased, amassing a collection of mystic eyes he could channel at will. Preserving these heads came about through the use of a pocket dimension of sorts. Heartless, who lacked a heart in his chest cavity, instead had a fissure connecting to another dimension of infinite number space where he could hide the heads. The extra eyes helped Heartless investigate the Grail War and formulate a plan to replicate its ability to summon heroic spirits. The two things Heartless needed to pull this off were a former master of the Grail War and the ley lines resulting from a child of Einash. Though I suppose that needs to be explained
you know what?
detail.
I need to watch that
Einash is the name
anime
of a
too with Waver in it. I saw it one time. It was like recently. Well, when I saw it, then it recently came out.
It qualifies as one of the 27 dead apostle ancestors, keeping itself alive for over 800 years by training the life of those foolish enough to enter it. The forest grows a fruit that drips blood when ripened.
But yeah, for now, I'm gonna just go off of what you guys voted on, like way back before I started looking at
forests called
Fate
Children of
Apocrypha.
Einash. Heartless realized that if he could bring the Rail Zeppelin and a child of Einash together, he could connect their ley lines to that of Fuyuki City's Greater Grail, resulting in an imitation Holy Grail. Then, with Waver Velvet, a survivor of the previous war, present on the train, Heartless could use Waver's bond with the heroic spirit Iskandar to summon a ghost liner, which more or less functions like a servant. Putting this plan into motion, Heartless stole the catalyst Waver used to summon Iskandar, and used it as bait to get Waver to board the Rail Zeppelin. Once aboard, Heartless teleported a child of Einash using the void in his chest, bringing all of the components he needed together in a single location, allowing him to summon a servant of the class he names Faker. Fitting of the class, Faker was Iskandar's body double. A twin sister to Hephaestion, one of Iskandar's generals, Faker served as Iskandar's shadow, never having a name of her own. As a result, despite being a valuable asset to Iskandar, she was never officially included among his army. In fact, she bore resentment toward the army, and was thus not included in the Ionian Hetairoi. Having finally succeeded in summoning a servant of his own, Heartless covered his tracks. He disguised himself as Cowles Forvej Yugada Millennia, but feared his cover would be blown by one of the train's passengers, Trisha Fellows, who possessed mystic eyes of premonition. thankfully for him,
Just a
Heartless's
lot of
old
mystic
victim Carbo
eyes.
Frampton had also
So yeah,
boarded the train
mostly
to auction
like the
off his eyes
train,
of
yeah,
transience,
just
which had started
have
to
those
erode his own
auctions so you can
memories.
get these eyes.
Just like before with the killings in London,
Then you just
Heartless
got
tapped into
Heartless,
Carbo's
who's
eyes
just trying to
assassinate Trisha. Amazingly,
do
however,
whatever, as
Trisha
he can
was able
control
to
the other
envision her
mystic
own
eyes,
death,
get his
and at the last
components
moment,
and all
hid her
that
head away from Heartless.
to make that faker
Consumed by
servant.
greed, Heartless conspired with the Mage
Iskandar's
Yvette to try
shadow.
and win the auction for Carbo's eyes. Essentially, he stretched his ambitions too far, leading a trail of activity that allowed Waver to deduce the truth of his involvement. Once outed for his crimes, Dr. Heartless attempted to escape with Faker's protection, calling forth the Child of Einash once more to attack the train. With the auction essentially annulled, Carbo was given back his eyes, and he used them to combat Faker, bringing about slashes from just moments before to injure her. The train's remaining mages teamed up to help Olga Marie Animesphere cast a spell, sending fire down upon the Einash branches. To finish off the Child of Einash, Leandra loaded the Mystic Eye projector to send a tremendous blast of energy into the forest's core. Lastly, Waver's confidant Gray removed the seals on her divine construct Rongo Minyad to counter Faker's chariot. In the end, however, Dr. Heartless managed to escape alive, and the conflict was written off as a battle between dead apostles. Carbo was thought to have died during the fight. While this was definitely a bizarre incident, it proved to be nothing the rail Zeppelin could not endure.
Here it just goes.
It continues
Two
to operate,
pairs of
drawing
eyes
in
right
mages who
there.
seek to profit from the auctions. For
Or a
example,
pair
the
of
mage
eyes
Galvaroso
right there.
Scladio, the head of his family, poured a fortune into acquiring mystic
And you get some
eyes of
more in the
future
bag
sight.
too.
Just like Carbo's eyes, however, these proved to be more of a curse than a blessing. These eyes could only show Scladio a single future, that of his own demise, looping endlessly. As a result, he had them removed, a testament to the potential downsides of a mage's greed. All things considered, the same can be said for anyone trying to purchase their way to success. In summation, the Rail Zeppelin is the only place where mages can effectively extract and sell their naturally born mystic eyes.
Yeah.
It is one of the few ways in which mages can commodify the craft, gaining new and interesting abilities via wealth. Managed by the remains of a dead apostle and a mysterious
I don't know, just
auctioneer, the
looking
Rail
at her on
Zeppelin
the left
continues to
there,
tour
yeah,
all of
it just
Europe,
looks nice to
only
me. I
appearing
don't
to
know.
those specifically invited to join in on the auctions.
Maybe it's just the color
For our next
of how
lesson,
she has
I will
there.
speak of another commodified aspect of Magecraft, mystic codes, or artifacts
codes,
imbued with
okay.
magical properties.
Alright, and then class is over. Did you guys take notes? Like, you know, because I said you had to be studious. You had to take your notes. I mean, because I was asking, did you have the pencil? I could have gave you one. I got some more, you know, just making sure. But, yeah. The Rail Zeppelin, yeah, just like how he said. Yep, extract, sell those eyes. Yeah, hold those auctions. I don't know exactly what you have to pay. I'm pretty sure probably not currency. And if it is currency, then okay, yeah, just like a regular auction. But yeah, and then some, as we can still see, like at Mystic Eyes, they can have some consequences. Like, yeah, they may seem good at first, but like to him, he could only see that one future where he's just gonna meet his demise over and over again. Something terrible is gonna happen to him. So obviously, seeing that over and over again, you want to get rid of them, so you just won't have to constantly think about that and then have like what dreams about it or whatever. But yeah, like I said, I gotta see, because I know there was something with Waver on it, and I think this is it right here. I don't know if it was mainly about him, but I just saw him in like the cover image or whatever of it. I think it came out like last year or this year sometime. But yeah, I do remember. Yeah, it was like when I first started, yeah, looking at Fate, I remember seeing it. So yeah, either the beginning of this year or like at the end of last year when I saw that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, you just get to learn more about that. And yeah, just, I don't know, like, yeah, the way how it's just, I guess the colors or how they have her. It's like she's some type of I don't even know, a god or something. It just the way how she's looking right there, just looking all mysterious, like, and you can't even see the eyes. But other than that, though, that's pretty much about it for this one here. So yeah, we have to learn about those mystic codes next. So yeah, make sure, hey, got the notebooks, the pencils ready for next time. You know, gotta be studious. Hopefully I can make it next Sunday, you know, but you already know I don't need to be here. I know what's going on. But other than that, though, I hope you guys did enjoy for real. Make sure you like and subscribe again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.